My name is Nathan Stanford Sr., and what we're going to work on with this project is ColdFusion form with HTMX. Now, what I want to show you first is if you build a lot of web pages as a developer, you start to get a pattern of how you like to store your files. You have certain folders and certain structure. And if you don't, you really should think about it and start thinking of what folder should it be so that when you build your next project, you already have the folder structure. And so what I've done is I created a user snippet that I can use to generate the folders that I like for this particular project. It may be different for other projects, but what I do is first I can just create a new .bat, and then I can say I want my snippet that says new project simple is the one I'm going to go with, and then it has all this code in here, and it's just a batch file, and here it's going to create the application file with this data in it, and then after that it's going to come down here and create all of these folders and then these other two files. So if I right click and say run code, you'll see over here all my folder structure gets built, ready to go. So I can delete this file here. I can go here and you can see that the application file is already basically, the basic structure is set and ready to go. So let's say CF form, and then we'll come down here and I'll make up a database name that we're going to try to use. Form DB, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't have to be. So we've got this set. Now, what I want to do is to build from here. Let's start by you go to the index, it's empty, and you go doc, and it gives you an HTML boilerplate. There's a thing inside of VS Code called Emmet, and it will give you your text, your starter boilerplate. Now, in the past, it used to be the exclamation point. Somewhere along the line, it got changed to doc. So I tab, and now I can say CF form, and then that's going to go in the title in the tab at the top of your web browser, and then you can say CF form home page. Now we have this ready to go. There's not much here. All these folders, but nothing really in them that's useful. But we can go here, we can say localhost, and then we can say CF form, and we want to go to index.cfm, and there it is. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to have in the administrator for my development server, I have debug turned on. So all this stuff down here is because debug is turned on. But what I do when I'm not really looking at it, I like to do CF settings, show the debug output equal to false. And so now if I go back and I hit refresh, all you see is the page as if it was going to be in production. I can always turn it back on to true anywhere. Now, one of the first things I like to do is under includes, I like to make 3 files, header, and then I want to create another one, footer, and then I want to create nav. I'm going to call it nav bar. How about that? Okay, so what I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to go back to this index. We're going to copy this and put it inside of header. Then we're going to go back here and copy this, put it inside of footer. So now what I need to do is to CF include template equals And so we're in the root, so I want to go down one level to the includes. So I hit tab, and then I hit slash, I want the header. And then I want to do a double quote. Now what I can do is, for right now, I can just simply change these to be nav bar. Now, one thing you also can do besides this is move the nav bar inside of the header, if that's what you like. Right now, I'll just leave it here. I might end up moving it in the header. It just kind of depends. So right now, we've got this starter template that we've got. We have a place where if we want to do unit testing, we have a place if we need to do any kind of uploads, certain views that we want to do. And what I'm going to do is in partials, that's going to be a lot of where my HTMX will go, unless it's a full page view of something. That's the way I'm going to look at it. In here is if I need any configuration, I can put it there. There's a few files that you can do and put some CFCs or objects in here. We can go under assets. We can have JavaScript here, images here, including backgrounds, CSS styles in here. So it's really just kind of, you can do whatever you want. I'm just throwing these together. I may not even use all these. Here's pages if I have a full page that I want to do. So let's think about, how do we pick the best form? There's lots of different ways to go about this. I really liked the other day when I was creating one of my other videos. If you look up the one that shows Stacy's cakes on it, the WebSim AI was pretty cool. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to demo this again by doing this. So let's just say, give me I've already got one down here, but I'm going to have it give me a brand new, give me a form named CF, here, let's do this, named CF form that is bootstrap 5 and is in dark mode. And let's say 5.3 and in dark mode that looks professional. I'll just go with that. Let's just go with that. Okay, so it'll set here and it will generate a form for you. It's already put the name in. It's already pulling up some big topics, and it's showing what it would look like to create a new topic, to go to your profile, to search the forum. If you look in here, there actually is text in here showing how many members. You know, even though I'm not real crazy about the look of this one, I might do it. So let's say we want to keep this one as one of them that we might keep. So let's see here. Let's see. What if I bookmark it? Version 1. Okay, so now I've got that. So let's come back here and say categories. How does categories look? Let's go see how it looks. Now what I'm doing is kind of like if you were building it yourself, you would think in your head, how should the page look? In fact, what I might would go do, click on members. Doesn't look like it's generating. It usually will. Let's go to my profile. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's not use this. I'm going to close it. I'm not going to use it. Let's do this. Give form web design sites. So let's see here. I want, first let's go to this one just to see. So you got the name of the form at the top, so we could build a header, and then you got the list of forms with a category, and then with categories, and then inside subcategory, and then you can see who is the top person making the most posts. You can see who did the recent post. I like this one. Let's just do this one. This will be simple. Now I'm not doing it exactly like this. I'm just starting with the idea. We need a header. We need a nav bar so you can browse activity support. So then forms, gallery. I just clicked on gallery. Gallery is showing you some forms. I don't really need that, but I do like to see, okay, what users are online. We might go through that. What staff is online. Let's go back to forms. Let's say if I click on web design resource, now I've got the subcategories here. Let's click on the very first one, and now we can see here all the threads from the latest thread. I assume from the latest thread. So we're going to start trying to design this from the get-go. So let me click back. But we're going to build our own version of it. Not going to copy it. We're going to use it as inspiration. So we've got the home page. We've already got that coming up. But what we need is a header. So we're using Bootstrap 5. All right, that's the one I plan to use. So I'm going to close that. We'll leave this one open for inspiration. Let's go to Bootstrap. When we go to Bootstrap, you notice up here, in this corner up here, the latest version is 5.3. That's actually why I would pick 5.3 right at the moment. Now, we can do it a few different ways. Because I'm building this to help beginners, I'm not going to do it using Node. But if you know how to use Node, and you have Node installed, and you want to do it that way, you can. Just for those beginners, in the future, when you learn Node, npm, the Node package manager, will install Bootstrap at version 5.3. So you would be able to come here and say, okay, I just want to copy that and run that. That will actually work, but we're not going to do that today. I probably need to do that in a future version. So that way someone trying to learn will be able to get the idea of how to make it work. Here it's explaining, you're installing different things with the package manager. What we're going to do is we'll just copy this to the clipboard. We'll go back to our header, and we will simply add this right in here, tab it over so it matches, and we're going to go back to this page, click here. So now we've copied this link. Normally in JavaScript you would put any CDN like this, you would normally put at the bottom of the page right before the ending body. But we're going to do it different, and I'll show you the small little trick. Nothing big for those that have been doing this a while. You just simply add the word defer right here, and it will wait to run this JavaScript code until after the whole web page has been loaded. So that way you can have all of these up here. Now what I would like to do is dark mode, because that's what I like. So I just go up here and say dark mode, and it popped up. You can see how many times I search for it. Come down here till I find dark mode. See, this is light mode. This is dark mode. What you can do is in your code you can change things on the fly there. This one's light mode on top of the dark mode, and here is dark mode on top of dark mode. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy right here. We're going to copy this one little section, copy that, and we're going to go back to our code, and we're going to come up here to the HTML. We're turning all of our HTML into dark mode unless we explicitly tell it we want this to be light mode. So we're starting to make it all dark mode. So if we come back here and we hit refresh on our page, Now we're in dark mode, and because we have Bootstrap, the text changed font and moved to the left and up to the top. We're going to fix all that and make it look good. But what we're going to do first, because we want to have a header. So we scroll down through all these nav bars. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Let's go back and look here. This is an actual header with a nav bar in a sense. So let's see if we can just do maybe a nav bar, but let me see here. I know the nav bar is right there, but let me see it. Okay, let's borrow the nav bar. Oh, you know what? Let's do it different this time. I've done it in another web video that I've done. Let's go here instead. So here you get examples of headers, examples, sidebars, all these different examples. So let's go with header first. Notice these headers have a lot in them. What does this one have? It does have a sign up page, and it has a logo. So let's see here. In our header, I really don't want a search. I guess we could do this one here and get rid of these links in the middle as well as the login. Although the login might be good because if you're going to sign up then for the form, then you probably need a way to log in. Yeah, you've got sign in and sign up. So we'll copy this. So we look here and we right click here and we say inspect. We can see in here on the left the actual code that is causing that nav bar to be created. Now I'm going to stop the inspect and change it. We're doing the first, second, and third one down. And if we right click and say view page source, you see all the HTML that goes into generating this page. Ignore most of it. Come down here to where you're getting your first nav bar container. Notice it says header to header, but we want, when we go to copy one, we want to copy the container. Here's the second one, and here's the third one. The third one that has the sign up and the login. So if we copy this all the way down here, this is the divider for the example. Copy that code. We come back and go to our index. Actually, no, we go to our header. And we paste that in, and then we simply go back to our web page on our browser, hit refresh. The only thing we're missing is it looks like either I maybe missed some code. Let's go back and look. Bootstrap. Oh, they're using it for an SVG. That's fine. So we'll go back here, and where is the SVG? In here, header, right here. So instead of this SVG, which we could work on getting that working, but we're not needing it because we're going to be changing it to our logo header, which we're going to call CF form. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe later I might change it. Let's go see if that worked. Go here, refresh, CF form. Okay, so let's close this, and now we have where we could put an image here if we wanted to do it, or we can just leave it CF form. We have some links here which we can get rid of, and we have a login and a sign up. Over here we have existing user, then sign in. What's in the drop down here? So there's all different kinds of ways to sign in. For ours, it's going to be one way. You're going to sign in with your username and password. In fact, the username will probably be your email, so the email and password. Sign up will be the first time you want to sign up. So we can leave sign up and log in just like it is. We can decide if we want to change it and the looks and feel later. But if you notice, it's way over here and not way over here. That's because in Bootstrap, one of the things you need to learn is the outside div, if it's got the word container, then it's going to pull in to have a container of 12 rows. Well, if you want it to go all the way from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, you change it to container fluid. So if we come back here, we hit refresh, now it's all the way to the left and right, which is more what I want. But we really don't want these links in here because we're going to add a nav bar. So what we can do is say all these links here, we can just delete. And then we can come back here, hit refresh, and voila, we're ready to roll. So let's look at adding a nav bar. So we come back here and we go back one, back two. Well, let's just go back one. I think there's nav bars in here as well, even though there's another place we can get to them. We scroll down. I'm looking for just plain nav bars. There we go. Plain nav bars. Now, I could do the same thing and copy one of these. Always expand it. Okay, what this is doing is responsive design. So if you are going to change the size of this, if you watch, this first one will always expand. This one is not expanded, which means it's like it thinks it's on a mobile phone. It's not expanded. Click here, you get the links. So if you notice, this one at large is when it expands. So if I make this a little bigger, boom, large is not expanded, but extra large is not. If I want, I can say when you get to the size of the tablet, I want large to not expand because now you're on a tablet. Maybe you can't see all the links because if I have too many links going across the nav bar, you can't see them. So now you can do this and you can see them. So you've got to pick which size you want them to collapse. And this is called, this icon you'll see a lot, it's called the hamburger because it's got three little lines. So the bigger you get, the better chance it's going to expand. Now this down here is inside the container where we have these in the container fluid. So let's just pick one of these. I'm going to go with this medium one because I think that's the last one to collapse. Let's go with large actually. So if I right click and I say view source and I scroll down until I get to each one of these, and as I'm looking through them, this one's always expand it small, expand it medium, and expand it large. So now I can just grab this nav bar, grab the whole thing. Let's make sure I'm only getting one. I'm getting two now. Okay, that's three. Now I've got one. Copy that. And I come back to my code and I go to my nav bar and I paste it in and I hit save. Then I come back here and hit refresh. Now we got a nav bar. Only thing I don't like is I've got this little bar. Let's go look at it, the code. So first let's go to the header. I don't see the bar. Not sure where the bar is coming from. Container fluid. Okay, we got div here. Okay, so what I want is the container fluid to be in the top here. But I'm not sure where the bar's coming from. Let's see here. Let's for a second remove this and go see if the bar still, if this white bar shows up. Is it on top of the? Okay, so it is, like I thought, somehow connected in here. Header, center, justify, border bottom. Okay, let's take out border bottom. And now that should get rid of that. Refresh. So border bottom's gone, but boy, there's a lot of space. So you have to look at these and say, okay, margin bottom with two spaces. Margin bottom and medium, 0 spaces. Well, I'm getting rid of both of those for now. And I'm just trying to build for the regular website So if this messes up when it goes to a mobile or something for right now, it's fine because I'm just trying to get this built. So let's see here. Let's go to the nav bar dark. Fifth example, we'll get rid of some of this text in a minute. This is just kind of giving us an idea. Container fluid. You know what? Let's do this. Background primary. So we can kind of see when we hit refresh, that is great. That's where that's at. So it's not the nav bar that's the problem. Let me come back to the header and let's say up here, background success, which I think is green. So we have space between the green and the blue. So somewhere in here, there is some extra text going on, major bottom, margin bottom, 4 spaces. And padding Y3. I'm actually going to get rid of this just so I can see how it looks and see how close it is to what I'm wanting. That's good enough. Yes, we could probably let's add the PY back. I think that's what's adding the space for the header, which will make it look a little more like a header. There you go. So now we can get rid of this green. We don't need it. But let's see here. Let's get rid of this. And then let's go back to the header. The nav bar. And instead of primary, we will say secondary. And let's see how that looks. Okay, that's good enough for me. We'll work on this and see just how much further we can go. I'm going to bookmark this so I don't lose it. I'm just going to put it right on my bookmark bar. When I'm done with this series, I can delete it. This is not the only website that has a forum, but this is the one we're trying to kind of help us think about what we're doing. So hopefully this is going to help you, and hopefully you're looking forward to seeing some more HTMX as well as seeing how it can work with ColdFusion in the back end. Now, HTMX can work with ColdFusion in the back end or any other programming language in the back end. So it really is a cool thing to use. And despite there are some people out there saying bad things about it, I've listened to what they've said, and a lot of the logic they're using doesn't make sense. And at some point, if someone wants to know, I'll explain to them what I mean by that. Well, this is just version 1. I know I didn't get to the HTMX, but we're going to go through this step by step. I do not have a piece of paper in front of me telling me what step to go to, what step next to go to. None of that is there. I do this off the top of my head, and I figure out where I'm going as I run into this situation. So if you like that, please subscribe. That helps me. The more subscribers I get, the more I enjoy doing this. That means you guys are liking it, so I'm enjoying it because I'm providing help with you. When we get done with this, I will generate a GitHub link that you can have. And I'm not generating a GitHub link right now. Why? Because literally, like I said, this is coming out of the top of my head. There is no GitHub for this particular code that I'm working on. When I get to the end, I'll put it out there and I will add it to the last video so that you can go and see it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. I'll talk to you again next video.